Hi there and welcome. These are your handover videos for your eldest Xplore 574. These are a basic walkthrough on how to set up and operate the caravan as if you were coming on or off site. So starting off first, we have your black hitch head at the front and black lever. Now you have to have that pulled up to then be able to wind down the jockey wheel onto the tow bar. Occasionally that handle you will have to hold up yourself, but either way it doesn't make that much of a difference. What will happen? It will snap this handle down, push up that red button and expose a green ring. You then have your breakaway cable just here, which legality states if you have an eye point it has to be used, if not wrap it around the tow bar. The caravan is fitted with 13-pin electric, so if you do have 7-pin adaptation on your car, make sure to bring yourself an adapter. And then you have your handbrake just here. To disengage, you just press down, and to engage, you just press up. They can come up with a fair bit of force, so make sure your face isn't in the way. Jockey wheel is just here, used to level the caravan, and you have this handle on the side to pull it up inside the actual A-frame itself whilst travelling. 2 points either side and 2 points at the back. You have inserts for your legs. The caravan itself comes with a leg winder, or alternatively you can get yourself a 19mm drill bit and a power drill just to make it that bit quicker. Do not attempt to jack up or level the caravan using your legs. They are simply used for stabilisation. Now we are using our test equipment today here. So first up, I have a red propane gas bottle with an in-date gas hose. Black gas hoses will run for 5 years, orange will run for 10. You can see here this one's production date 25. That connects onto this regulator on the top here. You need to hand tighten that as much as you physically can and then nip it up using a spanner. You don't want it ridiculously tight, as you can see on this example. There's an O-ring inside the actual hose. Too much pressure on that can cause it to crack and break. And because this is an Xplore, you hold up the gas locker using this strut here. Moving along, this here is your flue. Your flue is used to get clean air in and out of your boiler when operating on gas. Don't have to do anything with this except make sure it's nice, clean and tidy. You then have your Xplore here, which is full of clean drinking water, and this is your water pump. So, water pump itself, just pull that up, just slides in and out nice and easy. However, you can lock it into place using that cap. You have this cap to go over the top of the Xplore to ensure no nastiness gets in. And then at the bottom we have your strainer. Now it's crucial that the strainer sits at the bottom of the barrel to allow the maximum potential of water to come through. If it's not right at the bottom, air will get pulled through, causing airlocks, coughs and splutters. Now with this, you can see I'm just going to push it in nice and tight and then press down the cap so it can't be removed. Next to that, we have your battery locker. This example does have a battery fitted, and you just need to have 12 or 13mm spanner to connect the terminals on the top. Next to that, we have the plug-in for the mains, which plugs in nice and easy, and the point for the motor mover on the side, as well as a little cutout here to be able to feed through the mains lead. You then have 2 points where your wastewater is going to come out of. You'll need some 28.5mm waste pipe to feed into a waste master that you can empty out at the appropriate point on site. And lastly, we have your toilet function. So, first up, we have your flush tank. Flush tank has a capacity of around 12 litres of water. However, I wouldn't recommend putting in any more than 10, as you don't want to overfill the capacity. You could also add some pink chemical, which works as a bleach without being corrosive and makes it smell nicer. Please do not put actual bleach. They are plastic components. You then have your cassette here, which is where your waste will come out of. So press up on the orange handle and pull out towards you. This handle extends out and up as well, so it can be used similar to a carry-on suitcase. What you want to do is twist this head to the side, open up that cap like so. You want to tilt it at the same time as tilting, continually pressing that vent button. Then my recommendation is to open up this capacity here, feed in some fresh water, shut it all back up, and again tilt and vent. Then on this cap here you have measurements of both imperial and metric, and that is for your blue chemical. Blue chemical goes into there, slide it back in so the orange handle sits behind the white teeth. Now you don't want to travel with either of these two full, so just up here, got a little black bung to drain off any remaining water. The caravan itself will be fully drained off when you collect it. Then underneath your right hand side seat, you have all of this here, so I wouldn't recommend storing anything under here. This here is your boiler, and you can see you have this drain valve here. Facing in the position as it is now, that is allowing the flow of water to come through. However, switch it down and that will drain off any remaining water in the system. November to March, have that in the drain position permanently, unless you're actively using the caravan, and anytime you come off site, make sure it's in the drain mode. You then have down here all of your trips and fuses, all your trips in the upright position, and all your fuses in the correct position. I'd always recommend carrying some extra fuses across the caravan. And lastly, this silver box here is the equivalent of your brain box for your motor mover, so if you ever need to do a reset for it, it's on that panel. Then here we have your main control panel. So first up, you have your actual master on and off switch. It will then show you the amount of volts that is coming into the caravan, which right now is about 13.5. You have internal lights in the caravan using that button, and then you can use your representative switches. You then have awning light, which I'll press in, and you can go to the outside and you can see the outside. You also have pump here. Now for pump, you'd switch it down, you'd have that red light representing that the tank itself is being filled and that it is then being pressurized. So what you would want to do is have your drain valve in the correct position, come over to your tap, open up on both hot and cold, and what you're looking for is a nice steady continuous stream. You can then see on here there is a red light on there showing you that the pump is then drawing through water again to replace the water that is coming out of the boiler. So you'd open this up and you'd let it run for about 30 seconds, and what you're after is a nice steady continuous stream. Now if you're wanting to use the other sinks and other shower, you just have to pull through the water on them as well. So super simple to use. Interior light, awning light, water pump and master. Then just here we have your whale control panel. So this is for your heating and your hot water. So first we'll go on to the water heating. So this is only for selecting the source. So you've got off, gas and 500 volts, gas and 1000 volts, back to off, 500 or 1000. So you've got the choice of gas, mains or both, and it's the same for the heating. So 1000, 2000, gas and 2, or the smallest amount that can be drawn through. You then have this gauge here, which allows you to have it hotter or colder. So the lower you are, the colder it's going to be, and the higher you are, the warmer it's going to be. Now these are not instantaneous. It will not get to temperature straight away. You do have to wait around about an hour to an hour and a half. If it's a nice day like today, it might take an hour, but if it's absolutely miserable and cold, it may even take up to 2 hours to get to temperature. But simple enough to use this gauge, water heat, and then heating itself. Then we have the toilet operation here. So lift up the lid, press in the motor on the top, and you can hear that faint whir. That is what will push around any water inside the actual system. Then to remove the waste, you press away on the handle to open up the cassette, pull it back towards you to shut it up. Then when the cassette is full, there'll be a red light on there telling you to empty. Then here we have your hob, grill and oven. So all of this operates on gas. So all you have to do is press in on the dial, twist it to the side, gas will come through, and you have to press your igniter. Now it may be a case that these flames will light and then cut out. That is natural, that is the gas making its way through its system. It may even take a little while for it to light. But what you want to do is check through all of these. So this is what it looks like when they're all lit. As you can see, nice blue clean continuous flames on all burners. And it's the same concept for your grill and oven. So if you wanted to have it as an oven, press in to the side, and it can just take a second. You can see the oven is nice and lit. Now do make sure as well, this tray does not intrude on the igniter. And it's the same concept for your grill. Switch that over, you can see both sides nice and lit. Only other real things to note is that if you're traveling with a gas bottle, make sure the bottle itself is turned off, and you need to travel with this glass sheet down, but don't put it down until all of these are nice and cold. And lastly, we have your domestic fridge operation. So fridge is currently off, so no lights inside. Press and hold in on this far left button, flash up, go to its most recent memory, and there's blue lights inside. You've got 3 choices for source: mains, then gas. Now for gas, I wouldn't recommend using it until you've checked through all your hob, grill and oven. Now when you select gas, you may gently hear it tick in, but you don't have to do anything with it. You'll hear it tick, it will then light itself. Or you have that battery symbol. Now that is representative of your 13-pin electric only. It does not mean you can use the actual fridge for the leisure battery. So when I press it, flashes up and beeps. You then have the amount of power coming into the fridge. So 1, 2, 3, 4 or 5. 5 being the most powerful, so it is going to chill it the quickest. Even on full capacity, it does take around 4 hours for the fridge to fully chill. This will naturally fade off when not interacted with in a while. However, it will still remain the fridge on. And to turn this off, press and hold in on the power button. No more lights.